I said, we didn't want to bring this stuff out, but it is what it is. So let's start with the beginning, okay? Let's just address the elephant in the room. Fresh is an idiot, okay? I had this conversation with him off air. I told him, this girl is bad news. This is, what the hell are you doing? Having sex with this girl, etc., unprotected, whatever. Let's just call a spade a spade. He made a big mistake. Big mistake rocking with this girl, hanging out with her, etc., right? But what I will do is I'm going to go outline their relationship for you guys, okay? I have dates here, etc., and we're going to walk through it real fast. So, number one, they were never in a serious relationship, okay? Though she might say, oh, I was in a serious relationship with him, and she goes on this podcast saying I loved him, etc. He was seeing other women. And you guys know that because if you saw the video clip, right, she says that he was talking to other women. So she knows that, right? So they met on November 21st at El Santo, okay, which is a club here in Miami, right? Pretty much fresh trademark. They went on their first date November 26th. They had sex that night, okay? She left on November 28th for New York, because you guys know this girl has an apartment in New York as well. She was going back and forth between here and there. And then they talked on WhatsApp on January 1st, 2024. So he saw her again, guys, right? So she left the 28th, and then they started talking on WhatsApp on the 1st. I mean, they were talking on Instagram before that, but as you guys know, we can't show those messages because first Instagram got wiped with mine. Then, on December 28th to January 10th, she was in Miami, right? They spent a few days together. About half that time, she wasn't with Fresh, right? Then, they didn't see each other again until March 9th, right, in Barbados. They met in Barbados and hung out in Barbados for a few days, right? They were there for approximately 3 days. Then, she was in Miami for the rest of that period, right? So from March 9th to 24th, they spent time together here in Miami and also in Barbados. That's where she met his family, etc., right? Then, so what? We're talking about 20 days here that they spent, even though they knew each other since November. She was in China for a period of time, New York, etc., come back and forth. So they've spent about, I'd say, roughly 15 to 20 days together, right? Cumulatively. During the course of this time, there were a bunch of red flags that Fresh noticed that made him say, you know what, I don't know if I could take this girl seriously. Number one, he had mentioned to her that there was a guy in Las Vegas. As you guys know, we go to Las Vegas all the time to do, Access Vegas, etc. We'll actually be there tomorrow, okay? And when we were out there, a photographer had said, oh, I know her. And he didn't say anything bad. However, when Fresh mentioned to her that someone in Vegas knew her, she got really nervous and scared. And he was like, that's weird. Why would you get so nervous, right? Number two, she has 3 phones, okay?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part 1 of Myron exposing this woman who's alleged that she was impregnated by Fresh from Fresh and Fit. Like I said before on my previous video, if you got dirt on her, why were you exposing it on your podcast? Like I said, I'm not Myron. So, I mean, what Myron does on this podcast, or what Fresh and Fit does in their podcast, that's on them. Okay, that's their podcast. They make means off of what they say or do. But I'm not going to expose this woman and because I have an attorney now. I got a lawyer. This is a legal matter. So I got 2 and 3 more videos I can just post it real quick. But I wouldn't do that. But again, like I'm not them. But the thing of it is that when a person says, "Oh, you're pregnant, you need to take responsibility, be a man, be a father, blah 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 blah," but then they got dirt on you, and basically you got exposed. Like again, like if you have a lawyer, and then again, this is not only a criminal matter, this is a civil matter too. So now you got, now I wouldn't even do that. Again, I would let my lawyers handle it. I would let my attorney handle it. If she got dirt, and if the lawyer knew she got dirt, let it come out in court. I'm not going to expose it on my podcast. Well, this happened, that happened, that happened. Oh, she's with that. I wouldn't do that. Not the timeline of it. Because the reason why I said that I wouldn't have done that, and there's more videos too exposing her. But this is just part one of it. But the reason why I don't want to do that is because it may jeopardize the court case. It may jeopardize the case. And Fresh will lose this case because guess what? His sidekick Myron runs a rant saying, "Oh well, look, this woman did this woman did that, she traveled around and blah blah blah," and it's going to jeopardize the case. That's why you have a lawyer. That's why a lawyer has to handle all stuff like this. And I understand that Myron wants to defend Fresh, want to support Fresh, and fight for Fresh, in the podcast because Fresh is now in legal trouble because of this woman there. But by exposing her lifestyle, exposing all the stuff she's doing, it's going to jeopardize the case. Now, unless the lawyer said, okay, you can go ahead and talk about it, that's one thing. But if the lawyer said, and even the lawyer on the video that I just showed you before, even said 2 words, no comment. In other words, if you want to know more information, talk to my lawyer, talk to my attorney. My attorneys will answer any questions you want to know. Why would you even expose all of this stuff on the podcast knowing there's a civil case going on? That's my worrisome. That's my concern. Like, again, I understand he's defending his friend or in his co-host or whatever, but by doing that, knowing you got a lawyer with you, that's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. And I think the lawyer will probably tell Myron, why would you do that? I told you no comment. Let me handle it. Let's handle it in a civil matter. Let's handle it let's take this to court. Let's do it in court. But no, Myron do a little rant again. Now, whether she's right or wrong in this situation, that's up to the judge to decide. It's up to the courts to decide. But and there's more, because I got more videos I'm going to do in part 2 and part 3 in a second. But it's like, he was one, everybody know that this woman is exposed, or this woman did this woman stole their money, blah, 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 blah. But the lawyer in the first video said 2 words, no comment. Fresh don't say anything, but Myron, you out there, oh man, you could have been a witness to all of this. But it seems to me I know you're helping him, but you're basically jeopardizing the case here, unless your lawyer said it's okay to talk about it. But even if that's still the stuff that still the stuff that it end up being in court anyway. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I'm doing a part 2 right now. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments.